and we're going to talk Prism. And my question to you is Prism no longer regarded as the premier card?
My question to you is, how much have they produced?
So it seems that, I kind of went down the rabbit hole on some research, and it seems that people are starting to gravitate away from Prism, and especially on the base, and Prism may be a victim of their own quality of printing as well as their own print runs of some of these, especially on the base cards. If you look at some of the guys, everybody was looking for playoff bounces. Trae Young, Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, and literally Prism base for Trae Young has still gone down, even though he has played out of his mind and absolutely shown that he belongs to be a superstar in the NBA. His stuff is still going down. But if you look at some of his other product, Revolution, Hoops, you're seeing bumps in those. You're seeing those cards go up. Devin Booker is a massive example of that, along with Trey. Like if you look at their Hoops cards, which are a far less population than their Prism cards, those cards are going up. I mean, they're not going up like 3-4x, but they're going up 25-30%.
But that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think it's fantastic that there's other product out there that is going to share the spotlight, because for however long, Prism has been the thing. But it definitely seems like people are starting to look at other products and buy other products right now, because Prism is so, there's such high populations on the PSA 9s and 10s. So
Yeah,
that,
I don't think there's a product in the last 5 years whose base cards have generated more PSA 10s than Prism basketball has.
well, yeah. I mean, that's the crazy part. Like if you look at and granted, we don't know how many Burrow Prisms are at PSA right now, but if you look at a Burrow Prism base card and a Luca Prism base card, I mean, granted they're a year different, but or actually we'll make it the same year. You look at a Burrow and a Zion. Burrow's population is so low compared to Zion. Zion's in like 17,000, and you have Joe Burrow. Let's see. Burrow pop right now is 938, not even 1,000.
Wow.
But the question is, are there 15,000 PSA 10s sitting at PSA right now?
And that's I mean, you have to consider that, and all the stuff we're talking about, and you have to consider how many are sitting there. But I think the biggest takeaway from what you just said was people are looking for the more scarce item, and products that typically didn't get a lot of love are, especially in the slabbed world, because of their population.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I'd love to see Revolution get some love, for basketball. I think Revolution makes a card that looks much better than the Prism cards, and they're just a cooler looking card. They look much better in a slab, but they don't get anywhere near the love and appreciation that Prism gets.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say, "Ah, Revolution is crap." My guess is not crap looking; they just say it's crap because they can't make any money on it. But maybe that's changing.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the whole thing. Um, I want to take a look at something real quick and see if I can find what I was looking up earlier. There's one, maybe it was Trey, where you look at Trey's Prism PSA 10, and you got, it's literally just like hanging on. Like it's still right around that 300 level. But I think it was his Hoops card that you saw. Yeah, if you look at his Hoops card's gone from 66 at the end of May to 120. So that's up almost 100%, but the
So,
population is, a third of what it is on Prism.
and
And
that's
who
significant considering the significant drops on some of his other cards.
Yeah, I mean up until the playoffs, this chart looks really similar to Prism, but you've seen this, people are buying hoops because there's a lot less of them, and you had something even like the last two sales are 100 and 120, and you could have gotten this card a few weeks ago for 65 to $80. So you're seeing 50% or more growth on hoops versus Prism, which is just barely hanging on. Like if the Knicks knocked the Hawks out in round one, you'd have seen his Prism cards just continue to go down. And right now with Prism, they're just barely hanging on. So I'd love to see there be a few different cards that are the premier cards. Get Mosaic some love, get Revolution some love. Not a huge hoops fan because I don't think the cards look all that good, but let's see something else. Either that or Prism get their shit together and stop printing 50 to 100,000 base cards that are all gonna PSA 10. So something's gotta shift, or something is gonna shift here as far as what we're seeing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's wrong that the quality, like if they all come out and would have graded 10, I think that's a good thing. I think the question becomes, is that what we should be submitting to be graded? But again, you can grade anything you want, so who am I to tell you? But
it's your money.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like you look at the Kyler pop from 2019 is 2,100. And so I don't know why there's such a big discrepancy between football and basketball as far as the populations on these PSA 10s. But we'll see. And this year is going to be really, really interesting, considering that the hobby hasn't seen as much shine as it's getting right now, and now we have 5 quarterbacks drafted in the top 15 picks, and it's gonna be berserk as far as like people trying to get graded stuff and autographs. And it's really going to be a test to see what these card brands do and how greedy they get.
I mean, it's going to be interesting too, because